Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part, for the tarot, I'm using the Thelema tarot. On the bottom here is the information, artwork by Renata Lechner. And the bottom is what I'm trying to get to, so you can go to the website. Feel free to check out that website, Las Carabo. I feel like I've said it right once in my life. But you can see it right there. There's a Facebook little thingy too, and there's the address, I think. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive oracle cards are going to be your clairvoyant oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au as an apple, use an umbrella. And then last but not least, I do use dice. The dice I use are from this. They're from Amazon. I use the 20 for the major arcana, which does omit 21, I know, but I still make it work. And then for the minor arcana, I use the D4 to choose the element, and I use the D12 to choose the number, which does omit the queen and king, but again, I just go with it. I work with it. So there's that information if you're interested. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. And here we go to your reading. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. But that being said, what do we have for Cancer? Is that a beginning? You got the Death card first off, but I think it's a beginning. I don't think it's an ending. I think it's a beginning you might have been waiting for. It's kind of like, is it really going to happen? Going with your heart, going with what you want, going with your instinct. Is somebody trying to talk you out of something? Okay, so I feel like something is about to start. It doesn't start with leaps and bounds, but I feel like it's something that I've been wanting that I just maybe lost faith in for good reason, if that's the case. For good reason. Somebody might be trying to talk you out of it or trying to get you to pull back. Go with your heart. So through this whole thing, I keep getting like, go with what you really want, not what somebody tells you you should do. You got to listen to you. You got to listen to your heart, your inner feelings, your inner voice to make this work out to your benefit. Because all this seems to come in all at once. It's kind of like something is starting. It's starting slow, but I'm not really sure I believe in it when it starts. And it's something I've talked about or thought about before. I'm going to use business as an analogy. This could be anything. This could be romance, friendships, work, whatever you got. Maybe you've wanted to start a business before just to make it easy. And it just seemed like every time you tried, you just hit dead end after dead end. And maybe this reason life got too busy, or this person needed that, or for some reason you just weren't able to get it off the ground. You weren't able to move it forward enough to really get it to grab some traction so you could actually build from it, right? It's not that you didn't want to. It's not that you currently don't want to. It's just for some reason I'm not believing that I can take it far enough to really make it what I want it to be. So maybe it was a baking business just because I'm a foodie. And you've done some good things. Maybe you did some you had like a small, you did some stuff out of your home. Maybe you sold some stuff to some businesses, but life got busy and you're like, well, maybe during the holidays I was more busy. Maybe, and I tried to keep it going after that, but it really just more got in the way than it was helpful. So I had to let it go a couple times, maybe once, maybe twice. But it's not like you don't want to. It's just like it just hasn't come forward, but you still think of it. You do still think of it is what I'm getting. We're not done with this card yet. Let me just clarify it. So you may have some doubts. Maybe you've talked yourself into a circle or into a corner, painted yourself into a corner. I've tried that. I've put some effort into that, but for whatever reasons, I've maybe told myself, I don't think I can create that the way I need to. I don't think I have enough. Not enough this, not enough that. Maybe you might even have some negative self-talk on this one. trying to get yourself to stop trying. I don't know. There might be, but they're saying you don't have to go that direction. If you can switch that off and go towards the more optimistic route, which you do want to be, there's this weird energy here, this push and pull. Like, part of you is like almost like beating yourself down. Like, I got to stop trying to do these dreams. Got to pull my head out of the clouds. The other side's like, but why can't I have it? Why shouldn't I have a chance? Why other people make a business out of this? Why can't I have this? Why shouldn't I have this? So there's like this push-pull energy here. Slow and steady wins the race on this one. Okay, so I'm going to use the business analogy. We're going to make it a bakery again. Baking stuff, you know. So the Hierophant half in, half out, and the Page of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles. So if we're going to use the business analogy, it's kind of like somebody's like, oh, holidays are coming up. Are you going to make those rum cakes or whatever you do? We're just going to say. And you're like, well, I don't know. I was thinking about it, but it makes things really busy. I mean, if I thought it was going to last through the next year, I'd probably start it up again. But it just makes the holiday time really hectic for me. And I don't know. It's nice, but like, I want something more stable. And I feel like it's like if I'm working with like this business, say it's a diner, just for argument's sake, and they're like, well, you know, if we can work something out, I'll buy X amount of these rum cakes from you during the holiday season, but after that, do you do breads? Do you do this? Do you do that? Because if you were going to do this, every month I would buy, or every week I would buy this from you. I'd buy this much of that. If you were going to buy those, or if you were going to make those, I can't sell rum cakes constantly throughout the year. But if you're willing to make bread or whatever else they want, how much would that cost? And how much, you know, because I would be wanting X amount per week, maybe twice a week. Like X amount on Monday, X amount on Thursday, and that should get me through the weekend. So, or whatever. And you're like, well, and you punch up the numbers and you're like, I could do this. And you're like, and you're thinking to yourself, this is not enough for me to make a living off of, but it could be a little extra income and I could plan that into my days and I could make this work. So it's almost like it's starting like that. It's like, I don't have enough to open a storefront, but I could start something going here. I do feel like this is where it gets interesting because it's like I have this spot where I can start with something. I have something to start with. I have something to hold on to. They got something tangible, something realistic, something that like, okay, I got my footing. It's a bread order every week, or maybe twice a week. Maybe you make $100 off of it, profit, just for argument's sake. And you're like, I can't live off that clearly, but it's a nice little extra $100, and I'm willing to do it. That works for me. This is where it gets a little bit more like making your dreams come true versus just letting it peter out. What they're saying do not do, if you go this right road and this is hitting for you and this is making sense, what you do not want to do is to just kind of see where it goes and wait for it to kind of tell you when it's ready. Oh, I'm selling these breads and I'm thinking people are going to notice that. Maybe they'll talk about me and maybe I'll get more orders through people who realize I'm making bread there. Or maybe I'll just casually mention I'm making bread and we'll just see where that goes. Don't do that. That's not going to go far enough. That's not going to make what you want out of this. What they're saying is if you decided to go that route, go with your gut instinct. Use your connections. So for example, if there's a bake sale, make some of that bread. And then if you're this is what I'm saying. If there's a bake sale, for example, if there's like a crafter, whatever, there's something on the weekend and they want you to make something for the school. So you make this bread and make sure you're there as well, saying, yeah, this is the bread I make for so-and-so, that diner over there. I make it all the time. Yeah. You like it? Yeah, I make it for them too. And just keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. Keep networking. Because I feel like you're going to get ideas and people are like, oh, yeah, I heard that, that other place, that bed and breakfast down there, I heard they're trying to find somebody new to make bread for them. Or so-and-so's like, yeah, they're looking for somebody to make cookies for them for this. Start networking. It may be little things at first, but start networking. Start bringing those things in. you're going to be surprised at what comes your way because you need your name out there more. But I also get with it's not the Cancer card. Well, it is, but it's the Chariot, which talks about Cancer. By connecting with the people you already know and keep putting it out there what you're doing, people are going to want to be a part of it. You might get little pieces at first, but people are going to remember you. Just keep going that way. Okay, I want to address that. There does seem to be a naysayer here. Somebody doesn't want you to succeed. Somebody seems to be act like, oh, Cancer, this is going to last like 5 minutes. You're wasting time. You're wasting my time and your time. So there is a naysayer. Disconnect from that. Try to keep that person at arm's length. Maybe write down what they're saying to you and ask yourself, would you say that to them? If you write down what they're saying to you, I have a feeling you're going to see it for what it is. Like every time they say something negative or positive, write it down and then just after a while just say, hey, this is what you're constantly saying to me about something that I love. Do you realize you're doing that? Don't let that end. Somebody seems to keep pulling you back or like trying to pee on your parade. Rain on your parade? That's the way you're supposed to say it. If you can get around that and not let the people... There's somebody here who's a naysayer. If you can get around that and not let that hold you down... I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. Great exercises. I highly recommend it. Something like that, if you can get around it and not let that hold you down, you can go even farther with this. There's a lot of good cards coming here at the end. You got the Knight of Cups. You got people... The oneness makes me feel like you're starting to really cement in. So, for example, if we were going to use the business thing... Something that starts small, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, it could. But at some point, you'll be able to switch over to that full-time bakery that you want to do, and you'll have a solid customer base, a solid client base, whatever you want to say. So you get to not only feel like, I got it, not only do I got it, I'm going to keep it. There's a lot of people who really, whatever it is, if it's a business thing, for example, it could be anything, whatever you're going towards. A lot of people support this. The further you get more support. Center on the people who support you. Center on the people who believe in you. Whoever the naysayer may be, and there might be more than one, you want to get around that? I wouldn't argue with it. I would just step away from it. I don't feel like, if you get into like a confrontation, and you try to go the whole, oh, these people say I'm good, and these people say I can do it, they're going to find just don't, it's not going to work. It's just going to take up your energy. Your energy has better places to be spent. Just step away, let them think about what they said, just leave it to them. Let them stew with their own thoughts. Don't jump in the stew with them. Don't put your potatoes in that stew. You know what I'm saying? Don't put your potatoes in that stew. Sure, why not? So I feel like this is saying, listen to your gut, listen to what you really want to do, network the way you actually want to. Don't pull back. Don't let the naysayers hold you back. Because I feel like the naysayers would get you to kind of hold back and like, well, you better just hold back. Just wait, Cancer. Let's see if it goes anywhere. Don't go for that. Stay away from that. Go with what you want to put your name out there. You want to do more, get out there and do it. And then just, if you can get around them, you can get something that will work long term. It may take up to 2 years before it really locks in the way you want it to. But I'd rather wait 2 years and get what I really want than just give up and just end up not having what I want in 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather wait 2 years and actually get what I want than just not try. Because that's what this seems to be. Like, if you just don't even try, you're not going to get anything. So it's like, if you try, it does take up to 2 years, but 2 years from now, you'd be very happy you did. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.